there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with a random cosplay build video. I don't know what I'm going to call this one, but basically I've gotten into building stuff. I want to start building stuff for costumes because like I mentioned in the video that I made, the video where I talk about all the geek stuff that I own, I like costuming. I like having stuff for Halloween, you know, in case I have to go to a Halloween party, or I want to dress up for trick-or-treating with my kid, or what have you. But also, I've really gotten into the cosplay scene because of the Cosplay podcast, hosted by Jedi Manda and Bubbles Galore. So, when I'm recording this, it's Comic-Con week, so there's a lot of cosplay news, and it's the con season in general. So, I want to let flow my creative juices and start building stuff. So this is the second project that I'm going for. The first one is with the Wolverine claws, which I showed. This is the second project that I want to do, and it's something that I think it's easy enough for me to actually do. But basically, what I want to do is build a gun. A gun is always cool to have for costuming. You know, you can have a gun for any sort of costumes that you are thinking. So basically, what I'm gonna do here is that I'm going, and I already started, is that I took apart this old NES Zapper. I have like a bunch of these Zappers that I've gotten through the years. One doesn't really work that well, and indeed all NES Zappers don't work unless you're using a big ass TV. You know, the big ass, not a big ass flat screen TV. The Zapper doesn't work on flat screen. It has to be one of those big tube TVs. And I have one here, but I have one that works. I have the gray one that works, and I have an orange one that works, and I have two orange ones that don't work. This is one of the two orange ones that don't work. So what I'm going to do is that I already took it apart. I took it all apart, washed it for the most part, took it all apart. Here's the light gun part. If I was any good with electronics, I'd probably be able to do something with that light gun part, but I'm not good with electronics at all. I can't solder, I can't reconnect cables, so that I'll save in case someday I become magically good at it. But this is what I'm really using. These metal things I might use for something else. This little rod thing I might use for something else. But basically, the main thing that I need is this part, these two parts, and the trigger. So I already have my tools here, took it all apart, don't want to lose any of these bolts. But what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to paint these two parts silver. I'm going to paint them silver because I want a nice Desert Eagle looking gun. So I'm going to paint these silver, and then I can just paint this black. But mainly I want to paint this silver, so let's see how that turns out. Okay, so I'm going to do this on the floor, the kitchen floor. I have this little bag here so that the paint doesn't hit the floor, and this is already silverish because this is the same bag that I used to paint the Wolverine claws. So this is your Zapper part, and what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna use this part. What I'm gonna do is that I'm going to take this spray paint. It's the Rust-Oleum American Accents 2X Ultra Cover. Also bonds to plastic, which is going to work cool. Metallic bright silver. Any angle spray with comfort tip. I bought this at Walmart. We actually bought some spray paints for my daughter's birthday party. We needed to spray paint some centerpieces for the tables and stuff like that. So I wanted to work on the Wolverine claw, so I saw this silver one and I bought it, and it works pretty well. It works pretty well. So now I want to use it for this project too. So you take your can of paint, you shake it, and I'm gonna start spraying the gun. So there you go. Already you can see a nice silver finish to this thing, which is the reason why I bought this spray. It really gives it a nice silvery look. I rather quite enjoy this spray paint. So very carefully, I'm trying to move it. Might have to give 2 coats of paint to this bad boy. I'm going to do the same with the other one. And there we go. So already I think this is looking pretty cool. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to let this thing dry, and I'm going to give it another coat of paint. But so far, I think I am very happy with this. So, after it dries and I give it the second coat of paint, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this part black, and this part black, and then I'm going to put it all together, and I'll see how it looks. But that's going to take a while this thing dries, so stay tuned. Okay, so just to complete this video, yeah, this is that NES Zapper that I took apart and I painted silver. I like how it turned out. I just painted the handle black, waiting for that to dry. The trigger I left as is. I didn't do anything with that. I just took the light wiring, you know, because this was a light gun, but I just took that out. Just left the trigger there, and took apart these things, painted silver too. I did it separately because I didn't, you know, if I need to open this baby up again, I don't want everything to be just a glop and stick. So I took everything apart, painted it separately, then put it back together, and I rather like the end result. I think it looks pretty cool. So now I have a gun. A pretty cool looking gun, I think, for when I need a gun for a costume. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the way that it turned out. Looks nice and shiny. There's some. I'm still getting the hang of spray painting. There's some slight bubbles here. But it's okay. I'm happy with it. I don't want it to look too real, you know. Don't want to get shot for carrying a gun that looks too real. So it looks good enough that I can pull it off as a costume, but it doesn't look real enough that, you know, I might get in trouble. So I'm super happy with the way that this turned out. So yeah, this is my painted Zapper to look like a gun for costuming. So really happy.